Beautiful soul. How you doing? How you living? How you living? How you doing? I actually missed last Sunday to do my video. I had it all planned out, y'all, beautiful people. But what had happened is that I ran an event called What Your Body Remembers, and it was such a powerful event. I kept saying, I need to do the YouTube video. I need to do the YouTube video because, I'm being held accountable for my 12 videos. Before you know it, we didn't went out to eat. We didn't talk about all the good times. They didn't make me cry with a beautiful book with all these memories. And your girl Tiik went home, took a spiritual bath, and guess what? I went to sleep. So I never recorded the video. But you know what? This is life, isn't it? Life moves like that. Sometimes you'll be able to do something and sometimes you may not be able to. And instead of reprimanding myself for not being able to do the video, I just said, you know what? Well, they'll get it on a video next week because the Beautiful Souls has been with me this whole time. You've been committed. I've been committed. So it doesn't mean because you missed something that you're not committed, right? And so that brings me forth into this week's I'm going to call it a celebration. Right now, when I'm recording this video, today is actually the 9th of December, where you won't get it until obviously a few days after. And what's important about today is that, as you know, we're in a 9th vibrational year on a 9th day. So I just finished doing one of my sound classes at Stanley Arts. And the intention exercise that I set was about putting something in your mind's eye where you can actually release and let go, right? Because we want to complete cycles. I always talk about the behavior, the pattern of behavior, how you do something dictates every action in your life. For some people are like, what do you mean? What do you mean? But no, it's true, because how you show up for yourself is how you're showing up for yourself in every aspect. So when it comes to deciding on what it is that you want to release and let go, I want you guys to be clear about it, in the Gregorian calendar that completes this year, because a lot of other people follow a different calendar, which means their new year is April 2026. Spring forward. I want you to think about how you want to spring forward. Do you understand what I mean? Because when you get to an end of a cycle, sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it brings a lot of grief, and you may not feel certain. You understand what I mean? What I don't want you to do, I don't want you to criticize. I don't want you to punish. I didn't criticize or punish myself because I missed a video. Oh my God, I broke the pack. No, I didn't break the pack. My heart was still in it. My intention was there, but sometimes things happen. And as you move on and you decide what cycle you're going to complete, I want you to think about and get excited. I was going to say something else, but I want you to think about and I want you to get excited about what is in progress to arrive. No, I didn't say to come. Because I feel like when people say it's coming, I'm like, I'm going to be waiting for ages. No, arrived, in progress. Okay. Change your narrative, change your words, change the vibration attached to those words, because completing a cycle means that chapter is complete for now. It may not be forever either. Because I know some of you guys are like, but I don't want to let go, Tiik. Yeah, you may not want to let go. And that also means that you're not ready to shift the behavior or pattern. Now, listen, I'm not here to crack a wick. I'm just asking you to reflect on what it is that's going on for you, sugar dumpling. You understand? Because you got to ask yourself, do you want to go into the next day or month with the same vibrational tone? Yes, sugar. The same vibrational tone. Do you want to do that? Because the only person who has the power to shift these things is you. That means you have the power to change. Of course you can. You don't have to sing the same narrative. You don't have to engage in the same activities. You don't even have to understand it all. Like, if I'm being honest with you, sugar dumpling, half the time people don't understand what's going on and they're trying to figure it out. But the phrase trust the process, I say it all the time, been saying it for decades, is real. People say words, but the reality of it is sometimes, well, actually most times when I meet people, they're not embodying those words. I live a life where I embody words, and I tell people that are in my soul family, I'm like, listen, you don't hear me say certain things. Now, that doesn't mean that something might not trigger me on the human level, because it'll be false to tell you guys that. Of course, there's things that trigger me on the human level because I'm human. I mean, like, hello, but I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. That means I'm acknowledging what's happening, but I move that energy very quickly because my throat chakra is powerful. So for me, for example, if something occurs or it's the ending of something, I need to vocalize it, right? I don't do well, and I don't think it's a good idea for anyone to harness things in their body, because that creates a discomfort in the mind, that creates discomfort in your emotions, that creates discomfort in the physical, and it can cause you significant harm. You guys know that book, The Body Keeps the Score. I mean, they wrote it for a reason. Your body stores things. So that means if the body stores things, that means Tiik, who loves energy work, is like, let me show you where it's sitting, right? And that means you're carrying. I don't want you to carry. I want you to release. I want you to make space. So you have space to attract new things. So somehow or another, I'm on here talking about cycles. And yeah, I didn't even begin with a title because it doesn't matter. If you've been following me, you know this is unfiltered. This is unfiltered because I'm not going to be editing anything except that one time the clip was too short and I had to bring it back. But it wasn't a whole lot of edit, okay? But for real, I'm speaking to you from heart. That's why it's called Unfiltered. I'm speaking to you from heart because I want you to trust the inner work that you need to do for yourself and trust that as you continue on the road, that things will change. You know, it's like running a race. Like imagine having a turtle. That's what I got a vision of right now. A turtle and a rabbit. Well, the rabbit's going to beat the turtle, but the turtle can still make it to the finish line. Right? So again, your time isn't the other person's time. In this case, the rabbit's time, right? Because he got big legs and he can have flop along. He gonna be at a distance and you gonna be chugging along, right? But you got a hard core, right? So just think about your journey, darling. Think about where you are right now. There was a beautiful soul in class today. And I went to Wander, Thor's little sister, Lars tuning fork. I went to Wander and I put my hand up. So for those who know, I'm a Reiki master teacher. And I went like this, woo, and I could feel. I said, oh, this feels really different. And then as I began to speak, the beautiful soul said, oh, but I've been having this for a long time. So I was talking about the breath and how it wouldn't go anywhere. And then spirit started downloading. I was like, I feel this, I see this, I did that. And I said, does that resonate? And they were like, yeah. And the thing is, I trust what's coming through for me. Like, I don't have time. Listen, sugar, I ain't got time. People like, oh, yeah, that's not it. Okay, well, whatever. Because I'm not here to impress you. I'm here to trust the information that comes through me. And I've been trusting it, listen, nearly all my life. So I mean, since I was 2, telling my mama what I came to do in this world. So therefore, I'm not going to stop trusting it now. But I say that to say, I'm inviting you to trust the process. You know, most of the things that we do is gut feeling. So when I'm telling you about these patterns and things that you need to shift, and I say trust the process, I'm saying that because I want you to become aware. The people at my workshop the other day, who prompted me now to do, I'm going to be doing a whole retreat in Portugal. If you know, you know, and it's limited seats. But anyway, that ain't what this conversation is about. But the purpose of me bringing it up is because I was talking to him at the workshop about energy and energy storage, and I'm working on the lower chakras. And that's why I mentioned the retreat. Because working on the lower chakra, I needed time, because you don't just, people go to workshops all the time and they go and then they're left by themselves. I can't leave people. I have to go through a journey to make sure that whatever's come up, that it can be contained and that you can feel balanced and aligned. It's important to have space to be able to express, to be able to release. You may not be able to come on my retreat. Maybe you will. But you got to take up some space for yourself, sugar. If you're not making space to review, okay, to reconnect, and then to give yourself the opportunity to realign so you can take action, then you're actually doing yourself a disservice. I said to a beautiful soul the other day, I said, the actions you're taking right now, this is called self-harm. And being an advocate for people who have mental health, for my brother, rest in peace, okay, things could end in a really not great way because we are self-harming. And I want to talk to you because your thoughts being in a certain way and so over criticizing and doing all of these things, sugar dumpling, that's self-harm too. It really, truly is. So I need you to start thinking about the harmful language that you say to yourself, the harmful people that you have in your vibration, the harmful patterns that you've been having for years and just decided that you're going to accept it because it's always been this way. But deep down in your heart, you don't really want it that way. See, now I'm talking to the inner you, the different versions of you, and a higher version of you. I want it all to align. Why? Because we're living in a world that is heavy, with so many different vibrations and energies moving from left to right. And so when I give you an invitation on the 9th day of the month, in the 9th year, I say to you, but it's your time to shine, darling. So if nothing else in this message has resonated, let that land. It is your time to shine. It is your time to shine. 6 words. Balance is what that frequency vibration of 6 means. So it's time to balance your life. And how you're going to do that is to evaluate those things that continue to happen so you can take up space and give yourself permission. I said to another beautiful soul who I'm supporting, I said, it's time to surrender. It's time to surrender, because when you surrender, it's scary. I didn't say it wasn't going to be scary. But when you surrender, you're giving yourself an opportunity to say, okay, yeah, I might do want to complete some of these cycles. And trust me, darling, completing some cycles to make space for new things is a beautiful feeling. It's a beautiful new beginning. I'm taking off to do some amazing things. I'm not doing things the way that I used to because I'm in a more evolved version of spiritual Tiik. Because Spirit said, go and do this thing and be in the world like this. And I was in the world, I've been in the world, but nah, not like I'm about to move in the world next. And it's not for my gain. It's for the connection and support of the collective. See, my spirit, I know who I am. I know my purpose. Was brought here to be able to support beautiful souls to remember who they are. I'm pure love and light. And if you haven't felt that by watching this video, just start over. Because there's nothing that emits from me but love. No matter how it's delivered, it's always love. Because I have your highest good and highest intention. But I can be your biggest cheerleader, but I want you to be your biggest cheerleader for yourself. So this segment of the lesson or the motivation or the inspiration for you this week is to make some space, take some time. You ain't got to have 4 hours a day. No, just listen, start with a minute and just pull back and say, what do I need? And then allow yourself to begin to create from there and then build on it each day. And then you know what? Before you know it, by the end of the week, you've made time. And those minutes turns into half hours to an hour to 2-3 hours. Before you know it, you've committed to giving yourself a day of time to reflect on completing some cycles so you can set yourself up to make some space. Now listen, I know some of this is landing with somebody. And I trust that whoever's meant to see this video is in aligned divine timing. So I'm going to leave y'all with that. And I'm going to get on out of here because I got the gift of gab. I shouldn't have kissed that Barney Stone in Ireland, but I did. And you know what? Actually, I'm grateful I kissed it. What I'm talking about, I shouldn't have. No, I'm not affirming that. I kissed it. I talk a lot, and I got a lot to say because I got a lot to channel. Let that land in your heart from mine to yours. Y'all go on and have a beautiful, blessed day and make it happen for you. I trust that you deserve. So you need to try trusting it too. Take care of yourself. I shall.